Welcome back to Alan Wake Part 12, and in this part we finish Episode 2 with the climactic conclusion returning to Elderwood National Park.
Bear statues!
Smokey the Bear, and his brother, Blokey the Bear.
The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
Trailers?
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
So, Barry has been transported into the world of darkness with us. How did that happen?
The sun went down.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
You see, this is Alan Wake is not a visitor in another dimension right now. That was in the second game. This is real life happening. It's just some bizarre, fucked up shit is infiltrating.
I'd have to get the key from the locked garage.
I thought that a majority of this game was just happening in Alan Wake's mind, hence the manuscript.
No, the manuscripts are real too. That was the point of the kidnapper character. The kidnapper let us know that these manuscripts are real. People can see them besides Alan Wake. They're everywhere, and they're describing the world around Alan Wake as it unfolds.
But given the situation that we find ourselves in, isn't it reasonable to suspect that the kidnapper character is an unreliable narrator?
He was no friend.
The kidnapper character, yeah, he is an unreliable narrator. He doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is that the manuscripts have power, but he doesn't understand like what they are or where they came from.
Garage keys.
Oh Jesus! Shut up! I'm trying to watch my stories.
Wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
So that was him in the process of writing the manuscript then, yes?
Yes, and he has amnesia of that entire period. So
wait, we got garage keys. We did not get car keys.
They were nice enough to leave the keys in the thing. That's very irresponsible, and I hope that one day they wake up with a dead fucking battery like I did one time.
Oh, wait, why aren't you running over the hollows?
I mean, I could. Hell yeah. Vehicular manslaughter.
Well, if in the event that what you just told me is true, then Alan is on the record as having assaulted and or murdered several residents in Elderwood.
Yes, he would. There's one problem that would complicate the police substantiating that claim. The Taken don't leave bodies. They don't leave remains. That's normally how you know a murder took place, is when you find a corpse.
What about the relatives of the people that we have successfully slain?
Well, the relatives of the people, they need only fill out a missing persons report and then wait for the police to complete their investigation, and then they will know more. It's just, the problem is the police keep getting murdered.
Because the police are also taken by the hollow.
because
the darkness.
They're all taken by the darkness. Yes.
I'm telling you, I think this story works better if these events are just playing out in Alan's mind.
But then they would have no real significance, though. Wouldn't you agree?
No, they would still have significance because the story of this particular video game is Alan attempting to overcome this particular challenge. The thing is, this particular challenge manifests itself in his mind as these individuals that he must deal combat with, as well as the trials of the environment that he's placed in.
I feel I know what you're driving at. Is if this was all in Alan Wake's mind, then the only thing at stake is his own life.
Yeah.
But the dynamic in this game, and I applaud the game for, laying on the emotions, sending us on a field trip so that we can have a good time for an afternoon. We're doing this in order to save Alice.
But we know for a fact that Alice is already dead.
No, we don't know that she's dead.
But Alan doesn't know, but we as the players know, don't we?
I mean, if it helps you play the game, all right, let's treat this game as Alan Wake's revenge fantasy.
It was the kid. You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
See, he's angry.
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me.
Yes, I get you.
I will get you a package of Skittles.
I got you, man. Hey, I got you. I got you, man.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
Alan Wake definitely needs a Tommy gun from Serious Sam.
The Tommy gun would be pretty cool during this fight. The darkness controls the Taken. Lore. Welcome to the boss fight of episode 2. It's a bird fight.
It's okay, Barry. We're just gazing up at the lens flare effects.
So here's the deal. You cannot shoot the birds. You can only repel them with your flashlight. If you aim the flashlight at a gaggle of them long enough, it destroys the whole gaggle.
Right. And what you were attempting to do earlier is thin out their numbers before the event started. Unfortunately, they are coded as being too far away for your flashlight to affect them.
Yes, they are. Distance negates the flashlight.
Or at least hinders it.
The most important thing I can do is catch the birds right before they hit me so that I can avoid taking damage. The problem is, I know not from which direction they come.
Dodge roll.
You also cannot dodge the birds.
That's odd.
Ow. Flare.
Now, does the flare still affect the birds?
The flare repels the birds about as well as it repels anybody. You want to cast the flare if you're low on health.
Okay.
Ow. I'll get you, you goddamn scoundrels. Fiends. Birds of madness.
You're already halfway out of batteries, dude.
It's okay. There are always more batteries. Kind of. You usually, if you know how to let the flashlight recharge, technically you never have to run out of batteries.
Unfortunately, the flare blocks out the skybox so that you can't actually see the sky where they might be coming from.
Yeah, the flare also just basically slows down the boss fight. Well, this section sure is for the birds.
But you are not a Hitchcock person, dude.
Have you ever seen an Alfred Hitchcock movie, Gerda?
I have not. I mean, I've heard about The Birds, and I've heard about Rebecca, and I've heard about Psycho, but I don't think I've actually watched any of the interpretations of those movies.
Have you seen Rear Window?
I have not seen Rear Window.
That is a good movie. That is a very good movie. James Stewart makes a really good crippled guy.
Now, what about, would Patrick Stewart have played the role better?
What, if he was actually crippled?
No. No. Patrick Stewart is not actually crippled, but, you know.
Wait, did I say Patrick? I said James Stewart, right?
Yes, you said
I
James
said
Stewart. I'm
you
wondering-
said Patrick Stewart. Okay.
I'm wondering if Patrick Stewart would have played the role better.
He might have. I think at the age he's at now, he would make a really good remake of Rear Window.
Hey, it's
sent
morning.
Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back.
No, my writer's block.
For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Of course not. Once you have physically realized something, it no longer has the metaphorical properties that you were depending on. It now actually has real-world consequences.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
I know.
See you soon.
That
Have
was
a
some
great
pretty terrible
day.
acting.
Hope you come back soon.
Or
Welcome to the old
Good girl.
It's Madam Miss Villain.
she's still a bad actress, but that was one example
No,
of.
it was deliberate. No,
That
I
was-
could tell it was deliberate, but it should have been somewhat suspicious to Barry at least.
Well, it's because Barry's stupid.
Here, have a pop song.
Here, have some R&B-ish music for the end of episode 2. In the next part, we move on to episode 3 of 5. I promise.
And that'll be out next month.
Yay. Stay tuned.